Boys getting out on the town for some live music. And there's nothing like going backstage and down the hall for a VIP pass to the inside information and interviews with the bands, singers, and songwriters that you enjoy. Welcome to Hall Around Town Radio's Backstage Hall Pass, a showcase of homegrown talent, mixing independent music with personal interviews and a behind-the-scenes look at our music community. Backstage Hall Pass is your front row center seat to some great conversation with the area's most talented artists. Whether you like rock, blues, folk, country, or R&B, Backstage Hall Pass delivers you a daily dose of the stories behind the music. And now, here's the host of our show, Scott Hall.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome live here on a Wednesday afternoon to Hall Around Town Radio's Wednesday with the Band. We are here with you today. A little bit of a different time, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But if you're watching after we're live, thanks for being here as well. And we will take questions and comments and such here as we go today throughout the day. But without any further ado, if I can find my cursor on the screen and get it to join me. There we go. We're going to bring into the party today our guest of honor. And welcome to the show today, guys, from Dangerous Jim and the Slims. Here's Jim Miller. How are you?
Hey, hi, Scott. How are you, man?
What's going on, man? Good to have you.
Thanks for having me on. Yeah, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. And on behalf of all the local musicians out there, we appreciate you supporting local music. Thanks for that.
Well, thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. What a great intro that is. Yeah, I'll have you on the show every day if anybody says
nice.
that. But
nice.
We've already got comments rolling in. Kenny Patterson saying Dangerous Jim and the Slims kicks ass. There we go. Thank you, good. Kenny. Appreciate it. Well, Jim.
It should be noted that Kenny Patterson actually gets paid by us. So
does he?
Not just joking.
How much you give him to say those kind of things?
Well, I'll tell you this first and foremost, that we are indeed a team. And while all the attention is often on the band, we definitely, Kenny runs sound for us regularly. And our crew and the people that work and help us are just as important as the band, because we couldn't do it without them.
Well, this band, man, 22 years you've been together.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Our first gig was actually at Poor Michael's on Hamilton Avenue, and it had about 3-4 tables. That was in the year 2000. So it's been quite some time.
Wow. 3 or 4 tables. I love it.
Yeah, man. It was a lot of fun.
Hey, if you're watching today, guys, throw a comment into the comments, or if you have a question for Jim as we go along here, we're going to dig deep into this band and figure out what's going on. And Jamie Minnick saying, hey, how you doing, Jamie? And good to have you with us. She called you Jimmy, so she must know you.
She does know me, yeah. That's my sister-in-law.
All right. We love Jamie Minnick. Great lady. Yeah. And this band was formed by you, a vocalist. Yeah. You're the vocalist in the band, and in 2000, right? Tell me a little bit about the history of Dangerous Jim and the Slims.
Well, I had a band prior to that called Leap Skyward, and we played out around the town for about 11 years. And at the end of that, we had a hell of a run, but our run was up. Also, secondarily, I was having some voice problems. I had a vocal cord surgery. We played a lot of concerts, a lot of hard rock, a lot of screaming, a lot of that kind of stuff. So the last show Leap Skyward played was a headline of the EBN Fireworks, and then I had to have vocal cord surgery. After that, I had to sit around and think about what could I do to have a band that could prolong my career forever. And it came to me that maybe if I started a new band that had keyboards and a horn section, that's something that I could do that would be different on the scene, and also give me something to do. 22 years later, I'm still doing it. So that was a pretty good move. I felt that original hard rock was a young man's sport. And the older I got, the more I felt that no one was going to give a crap about our hard rock songs. And I should maybe try to evolve a little bit.
Well, you said something that hits home here, and I've known a lot of musicians recently who have had vocal surgery, and it seems as though they're pushing it hard, especially playing in a club environment. Sometimes the sound's not, you're having trouble with monitors and they're too loud, or they're this, or that, the other, and people tend to kill their voices. And it's a shame to see that. But did you make a full recovery from that surgery? I mean, did everything seem to come back?
Yeah, I did. I couldn't talk for a while. And I also think the other nature of hard rock, that style of singing, now Mark Robinson still does it. A couple other guys can still do it, but
right.
A lot of times I think you're more likely to blow out your voice when you're younger, because you have that carnal energy that subsides a little bit as you get older. For example, Robert Plant, or you name somebody that's still playing. Robert Plant doesn't sing anything like he did in Led Zeppelin. He's still singing, but it's just a certain youthful energy that brings you to that hard singing style, you know.
Well, yeah, you take it down a step or two when you get a little older sometimes. But, you mentioned Mark Robinson and, Dwayne Chandler from H&R Rock. Those guys still are out there, powerhouse vocal in this, but it worries me a little about their voices every night pushing to those limits, Yeah,
and I can do that too. And I do some, but over time, we work pretty regularly. So over time, our materials, the stuff I select that we play, I try to make sure I can sing it every night. I don't want to have to drop stuff because I may be worn out a little bit. So we mostly stay in my bailiwick for all you older people in my bailiwick.
So you're throwing out originals, but you're also throwing out some covers. So tell the folks out there who may not know anything about your band what they could expect to hear on a night when they come out to hear you play.
Well, we play covers and originals. We mix both into each set. What I do is the only covers that we play are songs that made me or the rest of the guys want to play music. We only play our roots. I would say 80% of the songs that we play are written by artists that we like and respect. You're not going to hear, we're not going to be doing Uptown Funk or anything new, any of those style of music, just because we want to keep our integrity intact, and we're songwriters first.
Okay, so can you throw out just a few names of some songs in your set list that people may know?
Well, we play Aerosmith, we play Kiss, we play Rod Stewart, we play all kinds of songs, Rolling Stones, things of that nature. So we play, that's the kind of music that we play, all classic rock.
And while we're talking about you playing out, let's mention the fact that you're going to be at the Bell and the Bear this Friday night, right?
Yeah. This Friday night we start at 8:30. We have a fantastic opening act. My friend Candy Bennett will be opening the show at 7:30. We always have opening acts, Dangerous Jim and the Slims, and we don't do that for our ego. We do that because there's lots of bands and musicians out there that may not get a chance to do a cool gig, and unless we can give them a little boost. So we try to boost people that are maybe newer on the scene to give us a chance to open, and we take good care of them, and maybe someone will see them and help them keep moving along the route.
Well, I was looking over your promo sheet from your website and so on, and I noticed that back in 2012, you guys released a first original song, right? Is that what's that called? Big Rock Every Time, I think it was listed.
That was our first record. That was our first album. One? That had our original songs on it, Motivated Man and Slim Street. Now, Sonny Mormon and Ricky Nye played on Slim Street, and Ricky Nye also played on Motivated Man. The third song that we recorded was a cover of a song called Fear's Never Boring by the Raisins. We plan to, on each record, I know it sounds crazy, but you know what? I don't care, man. It's our baby. Our new record is going to have a local cover too from an older band. We always put someone locally that we looked up to. We do our best version of a cover song of a local band. We'll have another one on this new record.
That's outstanding. I love that idea. That's awesome.
We're fans first. I've always been a fan first. You ask anybody around town, I got a pretty good track record myself, but first and foremost, I'm a fan of the other bands and the other local guys, more so even than, some of my, heroes, my childhood heroes, where I had posters of various things. I really learned how to play and got my desire to play from watching other local guys like Richard Sudo and Greg Anderson, Greg St. Charles, Russell Jenkins, those kind of guys. When I was a young guy growing up, those are my heroes. They're my friends now, but they're still my heroes. I'm friends with all these guys. I can call them Richard Sudo. I can call them anytime, and they're my friends, but they're also my heroes and got me wanting to play music in the first place.
Well, that's a pretty sweet list of players there, I would say. And I've got to say hi to some folks real quick that are checking in. I got to say hi to Shane DeMoss, who checked in from a great band called Until Rust. I don't know if you've ever seen them, but they play up in the Dayton area a lot and get down to Cincinnati once in a while. Lori Schreiber is here. How you doing, Lori? She says, hey. And Harlan Lee, we all know Harlan, great player. And Shane DeMoss wants to know if any of your music's streaming out there on any of the streaming platforms.
Of course. Just go to iTunes. Look up Dangerous Jim and the Slims. You'll find Motivated Man. You'll find Fear's Never Boring. And you will find Slim Street featuring Sonny Mormon. We're on all the stuff. I know we're on iTunes. It should be noted I'm an old man, right? So I don't know about I don't do Spotify. I don't do SoundCloud. Mostly the band goes as far as the technology that I or some of our helpers know how to do. There's also, if you go to YouTube, you can find some stuff. Rob Webb, my buddy Rob Webb, directed a video for the Fear's Never Boring song that we covered in the studio. That's up there. And there's also the making of that record you can find. So you can YouTube us and find good stuff and bad stuff. But, hey, man, we're out there. We've been working a long time. So.
All right. Well, Lori just threw in the Fear is Never Boring there in her comments, but I will say Kenny threw up a YouTube link, so you guys can check that in the comments later. If you're watching the show, you can click on that. Thanks for that, Kenny. Appreciate it. And certainly a lot of questions for you, though. I was looking at the guys in the band, and there's a lot of familiar faces there that I know, and I've seen in other projects and that. Including Izzy on the bass, who I've seen play quite. I call him the mercenary musician. Sometimes he plays so often around town in different places. But how long have these guys all been together in the current state of Dangerous Jim?
A few years. We had to get a new trombone player last year. Ian, we call him Professor Torpedo. Professor Torpedo is Ian on the trombone. He's the newest member. Izzy actually. And he'll tell you the same thing. He kind of got his local start with us. He started with us, got to be 15, 16 years ago, drifted away and came back to the band. We've had probably 15, 16 members, Scott, over 22 years. And I can tell you that I have good relations with everyone that used to be in the band or is in the band now. Every now and then we need a sub, and we always go back to somebody that has been in the band. And,
well, let's mention all the band players here. Go ahead and give me a quick rundown. Obviously, you're the lead singer guy. You're the front man, right? All right.
Yeah. So on the guitar, we have Sean David Anderson. He's been in the band 15, 16, 20 years. His first show, we opened up for Blessed Union of Souls. It's got to be probably 20 years ago. Sean, you can go to his website, Maestro 13. Maestro, and the word 13, Maestro 13. He's one of the best guitar teachers in the city. James Izzy Isbell, of course, on the bass guitar. Chad Stick Stamper on the drum kit. He's from Greensburg, Indiana. Great dude. Super quiet. He's when you got 7 other guys, you can't have all loudmouths, man. So Chad keeps his mouth shut, shows up on time, and kills it. Absolutely kills it on the drum kit. My buddy Chris Cole Havoc is on the keyboards. Now, if you're out there in Facebook land, Google this word, Gipraw, Gipraw, Gipraw. Now, Chris, before concert security was heavy, at Riverbend actually got up on stage with Ozzy. Gipraw is War Pigs backwards. He walked up on the stage next to Ozzy Osbourne. During War Pigs, Ozzy Osbourne handed Chris the mic, and Chris actually took a verse of War Pigs with Ozzy at Riverbend. And then our fantastic horn section is Roland Joseph Rojo, and of course Professor Torpedo on the trombone, and Brian Curly Arvin on the saxophone. So it's me plus 7 other guys. We're extremely close. We play lots of shows, and in this case, we will be extremely close because I don't think the stage at the Bell and the Bear is that big. So we'll be standing right next to each other.
Yeah,
well, we're happy to do it. Almost every show I play, Izzy is right here on my left within however big the stage is, and Brian Curly Arvin, the sax players, on my right. And it should be noted that we play lots of shows, but what we're really doing, we're playing for the audience, but mostly what we do is we're interacting with each other. That's the key to a good band. We're listening to each other and we're reacting to what the other person does on the stage. We love that. I love being with my guys on stage.
Well, these folks out here watching today, learning about you, they can find you on Facebook, Dangerous Jim and the Slims. I threw it up in the comment area there, but let's talk a little bit about, that mix up of guys obviously is a top shelf lineup of musicians in the region, but let's talk about what inspires you guys to play the songs you do and write the songs you do. You said you're there for the crowd. I obviously get that, but what inspires you guys to get up there and do this still after 22 years?
Well, we're damn good. First of all, we're good at it. That's helpful. We think we're good at it. And the guys that I have, and I don't say I have the group. It's not, I don't have these guys. It should be noted I'm Dangerous Jim, but I'm only one of a piece of an 8-piece puzzle. So I'm no more special or any different than anyone else in the band. I'm just one dude. And, most of it is, we have a great feeling of mutual respect of each other. I wouldn't even think about telling anybody in the band how to play any part. They play it how they want to play it. I do what I do. and together it works. We enjoy each other's company. We're one of those kind of bands that, we do play some of the same songs, but we always have new ones when we come out. We don't just keep throwing the same 40 songs at our audience, year after year. We're a rehearsing band. We practice a lot. We're always working on new material, and we always have a couple new songs that will break out at every show.
Well, I threw up your booking number there too. If anybody happens to catch this, any of our venue owners watch here over the next few days, and you want to talk to these guys, certainly we'll throw that in there. But I want to also talk about, as I was looking at your bio sheet, you had some really cool stuff on there. And one thing you mentioned earlier, but really gets into it in this, is that you feature this relatively unknown artist as your opener. And, it's your job to support super people, you call them, who are out there. And I think that's a really great thing to do. I mean, a lot of artists don't do that. And when you have an audience and you can give them an audience to get in front of, man, what a cool deal that is.
Well, here's what you're going to see Friday night. Candy Bennett's going to open, and she's not unknown. I mean, she's played with us before. She's a great artist in her own right. Then we're going to have our friend Stormy Steinhauer and also his son AJ. Stormy comes to the gigs when he can. He sings the national anthem like a real pro. So he's going to sing the national anthem, and then his son AJ will be doing some singing within our show as well. My dad is likely to show up and bring us on stage. So now we got 8 people plus Kenny Patterson. That's 9. We got about 13, 14 people involved in the show, and we're happy to include everyone. And we also have Mike Meehan. I don't know if you know Mike or not. Mike's going to get up and play a song with us on the drum kit Friday night. So
sounds like a party to me.
Well, it's my opinion. And you see different bands do it different ways, man. But we are a band for the people. We're there for the people. We're not there to wear our wireless headphones and ignore the crowd and put on some big, fantastic concert we think we're doing in our head. We're there to interact with the people. Our stage is the fan stage. We're looking for interaction, and that's not anyone that's ever seen us will tell you that, man.
Well, I love that term, we interact. I mean, that is where it should be with all musicians, because if you're not interacting with the folks who come to see you, then it does become just, you could watch a recorded performance for all anybody cares at that point. So that's cool. Shane DeMoss asking a great question here. He says, are there any original songs that you thought didn't line up with your genre or feel, so you don't record it or put it out there, but you really love it? That's interesting.
Well, no. And the reason is, if you come see our show, we're all over the place. I don't think that we're in a certain genre really, except that we like good songs. So when in my previous project, we had the same thing. We're all over the place. So if we think it's a good song, now sometimes there may be some songs that we've written that we don't necessarily play live all the time, because there's a certain energy to the room that you can feel, and we try to keep that energy going. So sometimes maybe a song, maybe a slower tempo song or something that's a little more complex, we may not play live, but we're open to anything as long as it's a good song. That's it.
And you guys have been out. You've been out and about. You've played EBN Fireworks. You've headlined that. I mean, you
3 times we've headlined EBN Fireworks. I've done it 6 times in my career. So promoters, the nature of the music business is who you know, right? So and you can see if you looked at all the gigs we played over 22 years, you can see that we knew somebody on the inside for a while, and then maybe that person disappears and someone else is playing. But we know how to work with big audiences. We know how to entertain them. It's a family-friendly, high-energy rock concert, and we feel we've done a pretty good job of putting that together.
TJ Wethington just said he just watched the Gip Raw video. Thank you, TJ, for that.
Well, I just watched TJ singing "Pretty Little Thing, Let Me Light Your Candle, 'Cause Mama, I'm so hard, I don't know how to get around." I watched TJ
rocks.
I watched him just the other day, man.
We love TJ.
If
he does.
If you look at his profile shot on Facebook, he's wearing a Strange Love shirt, TJ Wethington, unless he changed it. George Orr gave me a Strange Love shirt too. So thank you, George Orr.
I just saw them play the other night. Had a great time with them at the Bell, actually. And I had to chuckle when Brandy was giving their little promo about their Facebook page and all that. And she said, do not Google Strange Love. Put Strange Love Band in, or you get all kinds of weird stuff on your computer screen. So I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, George Orr's a good buddy of mine. And, I was on the road with Mark Stevens. I know Mark was sitting in Saturday. Mark Stevens and I were traveling in a band called Finale. We played probably 150 shows together, 200 shows together in 1 year. I mean, we were really out there working. Me and Mark are good friends. Yeah,
Mark's a badass, man. He really is. He's great at what he does.
And he looks exactly the same as he did 20 years ago. That's the weirdest.
That's kind of what I thought, too, looking back at old pictures.
What a handsome man.
I want to touch on one more really thing here about you. And we talked a little bit about band influences, but let's talk about your musical history. Since I've got you here, I always like to pin people down on a couple of questions. And one is, do you remember your first gig out in front of a crowd? And do you remember the songs that you might have done that you really liked to do back then?
Well, my first gig was when I was in 4th grade. I sang a song. I sang a song called "If Santa Was My Daddy." If Santa were my daddy, I'd be good. I'd never, ever quarrel or fight. So that was my first gig. So I do remember that. It was one of those little skinny Tom Jones type microphones. I was so nervous I could barely breathe. But I don't know about my first regular. I've been a working musician for I'm 57, so I don't know, so 17. What's that? 40 years of nonstop rocking. So I don't really have a first gig memory because I started performing when I was young. But I've played a lot of fun shows, man, and at least over 2,000 concerts, and I still have a blast. That's why I keep doing it. I mean, I still have fun. I can't wait for Friday at the Bell and the Bear. It's going to be fantastic.
No, it'll be a great show, and it's a great music venue there. A great place to play. The people who come into the Bell and the Bear are there for the music, and that's what I love. It's
that's what they're going to get.
And no offense to any other bars or venues out there, but you go into places and there's the group sitting drinking their Cosmos, and they could care less who's on that stage. It could be touch tunes for all they care. Mm-hmm. But you go to the Bell, man, the people get laser focused on the music, and they're up dancing. I mean, they start dancing from song one, and it's going till the end of the night.
So the crowd at the Bell and the Bears laser focused.
Laser focused.
Wow, we. If any of the band is listening to this, we better rehearse real quick and see what we can do I'm joking.
Yeah, they may figure you guys out. You never know. It could be.
I would say if someone's coming to the Bell and the Bear, come early at 8:30. We start playing at 8:30. We're going to play a solid 90, 100 minutes from 8:30 until usually one of the guys in the band will put his finger up. He's got to pee and we got to stop. But we'll start at 8. We're going to start right at 8:30. My pops will bring us on stage, and we're going to come out blazing, and we're going to play a long first set. So if you're gonna come out early.
All right, and Stephen Bell saying a good time to see live high energy. There we go. Thank you for that. I've got one more question, Jim, before we let you go today. All right, I'm going to throw this one at you. It's my end of the show question every time. Where? Let me back up. If you could take the stage with any artist, past or present, famous artist, past or present, who would you want to be on stage with?
Good question. Steven Tyler's pretty cool. I'd love to do a duet with Steven Tyler.
That'd be fun. Yeah, wouldn't that be great?
I think he's probably as far as now, I'm nothing like Steven Tyler. I'm just saying that I like him probably the best thing. A lot of good songs. Great voice, songwriter, all that stuff. He's nice and obnoxious, which I think, if you ever want to see a good movie, watch The Making of Pump. Look that up on YouTube. It's all about how they made the Pump record. And it's pretty cool. So I'd say I'd sing a song with Steven Tyler.
Good deal. Yeah. Well, what else you got for me, Jim, about the band? Anything else you want to touch on we've missed or haven't talked about today?
Not really. I mean, we're good. We're a solid live band. We work a lot. If you want to be entertained, and you want to see a professional rock act, high energy, we sweat, we have fun, man. If you want to do that, come out. Anyone that's seen us will tell you that every single show is different. Nothing's ever the same. There's always something going on. that's different because we're interacting with the people, you know. And if you want to have fun, if you don't want to have fun, it's okay. Come out anyway. Come check it out. We start at 8:30. We really are looking forward to working with Karis and playing at the Bell and the Bear. It's very rare we play a new club after all this time. So, you know, if you want to have fun, come out to the Bell and the Bear, and I promise we will do our best. I can tell you this, on Friday night, we're going to be the best band playing in the bar that night.
I love it. Absolutely. And we had a little picture up there of Dangerous Jim and the Slims for you guys to see. So hopefully you'll get out and see them. Guys, if you're watching the show today, even if you're watching after we're live, which most of you will be at this time of day, please hit that share button. It's so important to hit the share button. Tell all your friends about Dangerous Jim and the Slims if they haven't seen them yet, or if they have, remind them about them and that they're going to be playing at the Bell and the Bear this Friday night. And going to be a great time. What time does the opener start there, Jim?
7:30.
Okay.
7:30. Yeah, and then I think I don't know. I don't want to step in your schedule, but our great friends Blackbone Cat playing Saturday night too. So I know I'm a big influence on Rick Kern. I'm just joking. I'm joking.
He'll love that.
I love Rick Kern. Ask him. Rick, he's got up on stage with us a few times, man. So also anybody that plays in another local band, Scott, I will promise you, it's easier with singers because I don't like to mess around with Sean. Sean has a lot of nice guitars, and I'm not going to let a stranger play Sean's guitar, and neither would he. But you know, we always get people up there. You know, we're not. You know, if someone comes, like, where's Chris Reese? Let's get Chris Reese up there singing with me a little bit.
Yeah, we love those guys too. You've got a great grasp of everybody, I'm sure, in the Cincinnati music community, and it is a well-oiled machine and a good group of people who support each other. That's what I love about it.
There's a lot of good new talent out there, man. There's a lot of good. You know, I'm an older guy, but there's a lot of good young bands coming up that are really good. You know, and I really love to see that the scene is thriving. You know, it's thriving.
All right, we have a special request rolling in from Lori. Says she has to work. If she can get off early, she'll be there. Save Fear is never boring for the last set, just in case.
All right. I don't know. I haven't made the set list yet, but I can tell you it's going to be fast and furious. Typically, when we start playing at 8:30, we don't stop for quite some time. I know we're going to have a lot of friends there. Are you coming, Scott, to the gig?
Yeah, we're looking at it. So hopefully you'll be there.
No, hold on. Are you?
You can't pin me down yet.
Well, you're trying to pin me down. You come on. You're coming Friday night. Come from 8:30 to 10.
Yeah, you can't pin me down yet because I have this lady called Mrs. Hall around town.
Yeah, I hear you.
And she kind of drives the schedule sometimes on the weekends. So
yeah, I understand. Well,
you know how that goes.
Hey, look, I'll say thanks. I know we all appreciate you helping us out, Scott, with promoting our shows, and you know, I really do appreciate it. It's not just trying to. You know, I think it's cool that you're doing this for the local scene. So thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, I thank you much for being here. And again, guys, for booking info for Dangerous Jim and the Slims, 513-608-4128. And you can find them out there on the Book of Face right there at Dangerous Jim and the Slims on Facebook. Get their whole schedule, where they're playing, what they're doing. And YouTube videos out there, all kinds of cool stuff.
You got it all going on, man. Except for not on TikTok. I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, I don't do that either. In fact, my kids sent me a TikTok the other day, said, look at this. I clicked on it and it said you have to subscribe to TikTok. So I was like, nah. Show it to me next time you're over.
We're going to show up and we're going to play heavy at 8:30. Hopefully there'll be some people there. If not, that's all good too. We're happy to be alive and playing music.
I didn't know Mrs. Hall around town was creeping on the show today. She's laughing at that comment I made. Thank you, Jamie Minnick. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Jim. Thanks for joining me today on Wednesday with the band. It's been a pleasure. Stay with me, Jim, until we go off the air here, if you will, for just a second.
Okay.
All right. And I will be back with you all tomorrow live at 5, bringing you who's playing out, the best musicians and venues in the tri-state, 5 o'clock every Friday, every Thursday, brought to you by Froggy's in Monroe, Ohio. Right. And they're the sponsor of that show. So thanks so much, Jim. We'll be right back with you. And guys, thanks for watching today. Please hit the share button on the show. We'd appreciate that very much. It's important that we share all of this good stuff. See you next time here at Hall Around Town Radio. For now, bye-bye.